is really hard for me to say. I felt like he was a burden to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was really hard and something that you don't want to admit to anybody.
It's Channel Mom with Jenny Dean Schmidt. We're here for you.
Okay, so I had a pretty normal pregnancy. And when I gave birth the day before, I developed a uterine infection. But precautionary sake, they took my son to the NICU. And then when he was down in the NICU, they discovered that he wasn't oxygenating normally. At that first week, he became colicky and he started crying. There was a time when he would cry if he was awake, 3, 4, 5 hours at nighttime. We would just expect it. He'd be crying and we didn't know how to soothe him. And it created a lot of tension between my husband and I because we're both trying to soothe this baby. And as a mother, I think you probably know when he cries, it goes to the very center of you. And I needed to be the one that was soothing him. So the stress piece kind of just continued. And simultaneously, I felt what I thought was baby blues. Just a sadness and kind of just a sadness deep down within me. And I cried a lot. But everybody I talked to said that would be very normal. I had a devotional that was a new mommy devotional. And I felt like when I was holding my son at 5 a.m, nursing him and he would fall asleep, I would do that devotional. And one day, that devotional was about postpartum depression. And I felt like God just spoke to me. And it said, God doesn't want you to be sad. And he's put people in places to help you through this, and that you should seek help if you are wondering if you have it. I remember I woke my husband up that morning and I said, I have postpartum depression. I need to call my doctor. And I actually called the on-call OB that weekend and told her, I feel like I wasn't only dealing with depression, but anxiety now, because that night I stopped sleeping. And when I say stop sleeping, not, I hadn't been getting much sleep. I'd been waking up every 2 to 3 hours to nurse my son, and it was still taking a long time to nurse him. But I stopped sleeping at nighttime.
So tell us about how long that went on, where you literally were not sleeping at night. You were going without sleep.
Yeah, without sleep, up all night for about 6 to 8 weeks.
Oh. At about 4 or 5 weeks, what must have you? So you've got this baby, you've got postpartum depression. You don't even know how you feel about. You really don't know how you feel about motherhood, right?
No, yeah, I wasn't sure at all. I felt like I should be so happy, and I was so concerned for him, and I thought that was my form of love. But at the same time, and this is really hard for me to say, I felt like he was a burden to me.
Oh. Yeah.
So it was really hard. And something that you don't want to admit to anybody.
Yeah. That's honest, though, sweetheart. Thank you for telling. Because I am sure there are other moms who felt that.
Yeah.
I have witnessed it with other moms. And you feel so guilty, don't you?
Yeah. You feel really guilty.